Have you ever had a dream so big that it excited you for a moment, but then almost instantly a voice inside your head started, telling you all the reasons it wouldn't work, telling you're not smart enough, not ready enough, not lucky enough, and before you even tried, you quietly stepped back while someone no more talented than you moved forward and actually achieved it. And the truth is, most people doomed to fail. Because of lack of opportunity, they fail because of the way they think about themselves. And this is the story of a man whose small thinking kept him stuck for years until one simple conversation forced him to see himself differently. His name was Marcus, 38 years old, working in operations at a tech company, where he had spent more than a decade. Stable job, decent salary, respected by coworkers, but inside he felt restless, like life was passing while he watched from the sidelines. Every day looked the same road to work, same desk, same routine, same quiet frustration growing inside him. What hurt most was seeing younger colleagues rise faster, people he had trained becoming his seniors, people with less experience launching businesses, while his own ideas stayed hidden inside a notebook he kept locked in his drawer. That notebook was full of plans, consulting ideas, strategies, dreams he believed in but never acted on. Because every time he thought about moving forward, the same thoughts appeared. What if I fail? What if I lose money? What if people laugh? Maybe I'm not qualified. Maybe it's safer to stay where I am. Years passed like that until one afternoon when the company announced a new director of operations. And the name shocked him. Daniel, a 29-year-old he had helped train, now his boss. Marcus congratulated him politely, but inside something broke. Not jealousy, not anger, just a painful realization that he had been standing still while others moved forward. That evening he opened his hidden notebook and read his own ideas carefully. And for the first time, instead of doubting them, he questioned himself, why haven't I even tried? The answer was uncomfortable but honest, because I've been afraid to believe in myself. Sleep didn't come easily that night, and the next morning, instead of rushing to work, he stopped at a small quiet coffee shop he had driven past for years. The owner, an older man named Robert, had a calm presence that immediately caught his attention. Marcus noticed a small plaque mentioning a consulting firm Robert once owned. Curiosity pushed him to ask about it, and when Robert shared that he had built and sold a successful business, Marcus couldn't hold back his question. How did you go from working for someone else to building your own company? Robert looked at him for a moment and said gently, you're not asking out of curiosity, you're asking because you feel stuck. Marcus nodded, surprised by how seen he felt. Robert invited him to return the next morning and promised to share something he wished he had learned earlier. When Marcus returned, Robert drew 2 trees on a napkin, one tall and strong, the other weak and struggling, and explained that both started with the same potential. But the strong tree developed deep roots while the weak one stayed shallow out of fear. Then Robert said something Marcus would never forget. Your thoughts are your roots. Weak thoughts create weak roots, and weak roots create weak results. Strong thoughts create strong roots, and strong roots create strong lives. He explained that Marcus wasn't stuck because of lack of skill or opportunity, but because his thinking kept him small. Every I can't, every what if I fail, every I'm not ready was quietly shaping his reality. Robert gave him a challenge. For 90 days, become aware of every limiting thought, replace it with a stronger one, and take one small action immediately, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The first week was uncomfortable. Marcus realized how often he doubted himself in meetings and conversations, even in simple decisions, but each time he caught a weak thought, he replaced it. I'm not ready became I can learn. I might fail became I'll gain experience. I'm not qualified became I'll build qualification. Slowly his behavior started changing. He spoke more confidently at work, enrolled in a business course he had postponed for years, reached out to contacts he once hesitated to approach. The biggest shift wasn't external at first, it was internal. A growing sense that he was capable of more than he had allowed himself to believe. Around the second month, life tested him. An unexpected expense forced him to use savings he planned for his business. The old Marcus would have seen it as a sign to quit, but now he saw it differently, not a stop sign, just a detour. He adjusted his timeline but kept moving. By the end of 90 days, he hadn't quit his job yet, but he had something more valuable: confidence, a clear business plan, a small website, and 2 potential clients interested in his consulting ideas. More importantly, his thinking had changed. Challenges no longer felt like proof he couldn't succeed, they felt like steps in the process. Months later, he landed his first paying client. Not a huge amount of money, but enough to prove his ideas had value. That small success fueled bigger action. Referrals followed, confidence grew. And about a year and a half after that first coffee shop conversation, Marcus finally resigned from the job where he once felt trapped. When people asked what changed his life, he didn't mention luck or talent. He said, "Everything changed the day I stopped thinking small about myself." His story carries a lesson many people overlook. Your life often reflects the thoughts you repeat daily. If you constantly tell yourself you're not ready, you act cautiously, you avoid risks, you stay safe but stuck. But when you begin telling yourself you can learn, you can grow, you can adapt, your actions start matching that belief. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending success is easy. It means refusing to let fear write your story before you even try. Right now, somewhere inside you, there may be a notebook full of ideas like Marcus had. Maybe not literal, but mental plans, dreams, possibilities you've quietly postponed. Ask yourself honestly, are external obstacles really stopping you, or is it the way you see yourself? Because confidence rarely appears before action, it grows because of action. Courage isn't absence of fear, it's movement despite fear. And small, consistent steps often create bigger change than one dramatic decision. If you start noticing your thoughts today, challenge the limiting ones, replace them with stronger perspectives, and follow them with small action, over time you may see shifts you never expected. Not overnight miracles, but steady transformation. The truth is, you don't need to become a different person to achieve your goals. Sometimes you only need to think differently about who you already are. Your thoughts shape your decisions shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. So be mindful of what you tell yourself every day, because those quiet internal conversations are building your future, and one day, you may look back and realize the biggest barrier you ever faced wasn't lack of opportunity, it was simply believing you weren't worthy of it, and the moment you changed that belief was the moment everything else started changing too.